Hey, what's good, y'all? I hope y'all are doing well. Listen, we are going to get into the second kit submission that I entered into my first competition. So let's get into it. All right, y'all, so today we're talking about the Launcher Sword Strike Gundam. This is the second kit that I submitted into my first competition, and if you haven't seen the other video with the Gundam Dynamis, you can go ahead and check that out. That was the other kit that I submitted into my first competition. Now, the competition was IPMS. I'm not gonna go too much in detail. If you want more detail about kind of like the other stuff that I researched, you can go ahead and check out that Gundam Dynamis video. I go a little bit more in depth with it, but essentially this is the second kit that I submitted. The Gundam Dynamis I built a year prior to the competition just about, and I really focused more so on that diorama portion. And for this one, I actually snap built, custom paint, and then I also built the diorama from the ground up on this one. So we're gonna talk a little bit about this submission. So as mentioned in the other video, the purpose of going into this competition was to meet other builders. Now, brief recap, I had been in my local community posting up flyers looking for builders, essentially like recruiting people or finding people that were interested in Gunpla building or Gundam building, and trying to build a community of people. I got in contact with the hobby shop. They connected me to this competition, and so I thought it would be a great opportunity to connect with other builders by submitting my kits, letting them know that I'm out here, and you know, we can kind of begin that process of like meeting more people. So we accomplished that. We had the opportunity to meet more builders, more people, and I actually got notification for another build that was happening, I believe, a week or two later. I can't remember, man, time flies. And so I submitted these same two kits into that next competition where I met more builders, which was great because you know, just meeting more people, building more community, and learning more stuff, right? All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the kit. So as you can see, there are some slight color variations or slight color differences in this kit. So again, I built this one from the ground up. The inner frame is going to be mostly gunmetal gray. And if you're familiar, I'll probably put like, let me move this guy here. So maybe I'll put like another slide up so you can see what it looked like and what it's looks like now. The inner frame is going to be gunmetal. And then I painted the white, an insignia white. Also, this is all rattle can spray paint. I don't have an airbrush. I know you hit me in the comments, you know what I'm saying? I know that I might need to invest in an airbrush, and that's definitely on the radar. However, I don't have one, and so I use rattle can spray paint. The insignia white, I believe it's Tamiya too. So insignia white on the white parts, essentially, which I just shifted that white color on the base. And then obviously this blue right here has been shifted as well. I did a navy blue on this part. And then I did a dark green on the Gatling gun / you know, missiles, I think. I don't really know. And then for here, I just swapped the color. It's that light blue color. And I actually just swapped it for a bright mica red. And the same thing with the sword. Again, if you remember the competition for the IPMS theme, the theme was Red Storm Rising, and so I tried to incorporate something red and bring it out. And then also that diorama was that explosion, which you don't see here because I actually destroyed it. But I will go over the diorama in the second part of this. And then the, let's see, the launcher. I custom painted this as well. Obviously, it's green. It has some bronze, the red as well that's tapped in there, and some other tones of chrome or silver or, you know, titanium, whatever you want to call it. Not even whatever you want to call it, but whatever I used essentially, which was on there. And then as far as the decals are concerned, I used the Perfect Strike decals on this guy, and yeah, I think it came out dope. So I'll go ahead and I'll do like a close-up of each section so you guys can see kind of the work that was done. Essentially for the competition, what I did was I nixed the launcher and the shield on the back. I nixed those two because, as you can see, it looks a little bit bulky. And for the diorama, which we'll talk about in a second, it just looked like it was too busy. You know what I mean? Like, it looked like it was too much. So I ended up nixing the launcher and nixing the shield and just had the sword in hand, and he was kind of hovering over this explosion. Now, sometimes less is more, right? And with the theme Red Storm Rising and what I wanted to portray in the diorama, I thought that it would be best to take away stuff in order to add more theatrics, I guess you can say. And I thought it came out great. I think that the launcher and the shield, it just makes it a little bit too bulky, and the silhouette looks kind of all over the place. So I thought it was great. Obviously, it's on display right now at my house. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the diorama. I'm gonna put up some video clips that I was able to get for the competition and even after the competition, so that way you can see what it looked like as a whole, looked like lit up as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and go through a little kind of tutorial, if you will, on how I made it. So the explosion was really huge. The idea was that he was hovering over this explosion. I just broke this demo. The idea was that he was hovering over this explosion and, you know, red storm rising, you know, so trying to get that across. And then I put an LED light inside to light it up, and it was set to candle, so it gave it kind of like that candle-y glow, explosion-y glow. And then I used a bunch of cotton balls and a hot glue gun, and I got to work. So this is essentially the frame. I just broke it, but if you could see it, this is essentially what the frame looked like. I essentially just broke this, and that's okay. I'm sure we'll get it, but essentially I just took wire, and the wire is going to be dependent. I would definitely say dependent on how big the explosion you want, depends on how thick you want the wire to be. The reason is because you want it to be sturdy enough to stay up, and mine broke upon travel. You know what I'm saying? So like it kind of was looking a little flompy whenever I got to the competition, and that's because the wire was a little bit thin, and the way that I twisted it, it fell apart during transit. Look at your boy using big wires. All right. So what I did, pull this up real quick. So essentially what I did is I used one of these bases from a display stand, and I put together this guy, and he was I hot glued him to the base, and then I began to make more circles roughly the same size and interlocked them essentially. Made something like this, like a globe or a basketball, and I hot glued all the points together. And then because of the size of the explosion, I had to put more wire across like this. So it was like, let's see, like this. You get it, but it was like this. And so that way, as I'm adding the cotton balls to it, it has something to stick to. So again, depending on how thick the wire is, I would encourage you to make it, you know, depending on how big the explosion is, depends on how thick the wiring you want to use for sturdiness. I would definitely say use a display stand if it's going to be that big. You can also use a tea light, which I'll grab right now. And the tea light, it could be a good example of what you would use this for. So the tea light has a nice circle. I would just mount it like this here, and then I would begin to put, you know, the globe essentially there, and start making the cotton balls around it. Now this right here is just kind of like a smaller explosion, if you can see that. Yeah, it's a little wompy because I messed it up as well. I don't take care of things, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, and then that's how I got the frame for the explosion. Essentially make a basketball out of wire, and then you're gonna tease the cotton balls. Pause. You're gonna tease the cotton balls like this. Mira. Yeah, I didn't know y'all boy knew a little bit of Spanish though. All right, here we go. You're gonna tease this. I know, you know, I'm giving a very articulate instruction, and then your boy gets a little bit, you know, Will Smith. Huh? I'm just kidding. So I tease the cotton balls like this. The camera's over here, right? And then I begin hot gluing the cotton balls onto the frame, making sure that there's no space between cotton balls. And then that's how I got the explosion look. And the smoke that's coming up through and behind the kit is essentially more wire that's added on that is kind of spiraling around him. All right, y'all, so that's gonna be it for this video. This was a great submission. Very proud of this kit, very proud of how it turned out, and I learned tons not just painting, but also working on the explosion. And I have more ideas for how I want to make the explosion look more realistic later down the line. So super excited about that. If you have any questions or comments, thoughts, go ahead and hit me in the comment section. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, where obviously I'm more active, and feel free to shoot me a DM if you have any questions in regards to this build or something that you're working on, and or if you have any tips for me, right, that I can work on for my next build. That would be great too. So it's all about community, guys. Other than that, I appreciate you for sticking around, watching. Go ahead and give this thing a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.